Top of the third inning, the Suns leading things 4-2. It'll be Rochelle, Ryan, and Paris to take on Troy Donahue, the new pitcher for the Westfield Starfires, who Seth just introduced. His first two appearances were against Pittsfield. Combined those 3 2/3 innings, 2 runs, 1 of them was earned. He's given up 4 hits in that span. Struck out 4, has not walked to anybody. Overall, opponents hitting .265 against Troy Donahue, the Western New England product. He's out of Wilbraham, Massachusetts. He's a big, tall left-hander who will toe the rubber from the first base side. He was one of the many Starfires who's played high school ball here, and he told me before the game when he stepped on that mound, he stepped back in time. So he is getting a return to Walker Grandstand, and he will take on, for the first time here, a collegiate hitter in the form of Austin Rochelle, who grounded out 4-3 his first time up. That will close the book, by the way, on Nick Kane, who went 2 innings, giving up 4 runs, of which 3 were earned. He's in line for the loss if the score were to hold or the lead were to hold. Rochelle's going to come in. The All-Star came into the day hitting .271 with no home runs and 22 runs batted in. As a left-on-left matchup begins with a called strike at the bottom of the zone with a fastball to Rochelle. Rochelle, one of the All-Stars for the Pittsfield Suns, as I mentioned, has a lot of speed out in right field as the 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball that breaks well inside and forces Rochelle to jump out of the way of it. And the count now 1-1. He has an on-base percentage of .378, does Rochelle. And the ability to get on however he pleases. And the ability to drive in runs. He's not gone deep yet this year, and with bases empty, it makes it less of an opportunity as that pitch is low. And the count 2-1. Walker Grandstand, the current iteration of it, was opened in 1949. As the 2-1 pitch to Rochelle is fouled back onto the roof of the grandstand, and the count is even at 2. It was the replacement structure of a previous grandstand that had existed here but was lost to fire in 1942. And it was designated in honor of William B. and Edward Walker. As the 2-2 pitch is a high chopper right at second base. Josh Rometta gloves, and it's an easy play to first for the first out of the third.
Yeah, it's certainly a historic park. I mean, it obviously doesn't have quite the age of Wacona, which was built in 1892, but a beautiful facility. And like I said, I think it's a great place to have a game like this. And you hope that this is the first of many for the Starfires to get to play here annually.
First pitch from Donahue delivered ball 1 to Matt Ryan, the third baseman, who walked his first time up. Ryan also had the Isaiah Pinckney hit ricochet off of his leg that was hit so hard it had to be ruled a hit, but it was able to drive in the Starfire's first run, as that one is low, and the count 2-0 to Ryan. It cost $140,000 in 1949 to build this place, and it has since earned a $3 million grant from the state and the city, as that's a line drive into left field, a base hit. And so Matt Ryan is aboard for the second time today. 1 on, 1 out for the Suns. Good piece of hitting for Ryan. He's got an uppercut swing there and saw a hanging breaking ball, and he just put a little topspin on it and floated it into left field. $3 million to renovate the grandstand, which has really started to show its age over the last few decades.
Yeah, certainly anything outside in the elements like this in New England is going to get beat up after a while. And
first pitch to Derek Paris is low for ball 1. They expect construction to be completed by next summer, so if there were to be a second annual Starfire Summer Classic at the Walker Grandstand, the grandstand itself would look a little bit nicer. The 1-0 pitch is fouled away over the roof to the right side, and the count now 1-1. This is part of a $12 million project to reinvigorate Forest Park as a whole. They want to install a horticultural center as well.
Oh, neat.
Which was approved last fall by Massachusetts Congressman Richard Neal, as well as Springfield city government, as there's a pickoff move at first base, and diving back safely is Matt Ryan.
Richie Neal certainly a...
Runner goes, the pitch is swung on and grounded. Frometta slipped at second base. He tried to turn around, covering the bag and getting the ball at the same time. And that's going to be a base hit into right center field on the hit and run. Ryan advances to third, so they've got him at the corners with one away.
Yeah, that's tough for Frometta there. And obviously trying to do too many things at once, sometimes it'll get you, but that's the whole benefit of having runners on, the chaos you can cause. Ryan, by virtue of taking off for second, forced Fermetta to move out of position, and what might have otherwise been a 4-6-3 double play is instead a hit.
2 singles after the ground out. Now Spencer Burson, who walked his first time up. And the first pitch to him is a called strike with a fastball right down the middle from Donahue. Donahue doesn't throw overwhelmingly hard, mid-80s for the Western New England product. He's got runners at the corners to deal with as the 0-1 pitch is fouled away to the right, headed towards one of the many tents on the right field side or in first base side of foul ground. The Springfield Thunderbirds had made a visit and had a marketing tent here. Obviously, the merchandise tent for the Westfield Starfires is out there, as well as White Lion Brewery has made an appearance. Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt, and that is strike 3. Second strikeout for Starfires pitching, and there's 2 away. Two down now, and a first pitch to Grodiohan is a called ball 1. Looked like a pretty good pitch, but just missed a little outside with the runner at first. Paris bluffing. Paris has good speed for a catcher. He will take off.
Got to be careful not to get baited for a double steal.
He dances at first, and the second pitch is fouled away, and the count now 1-1 to Grodiohan, who, as I mentioned, put on a show in Burlington, Vermont, one of the greatest home run derby shows that I've ever seen. Talk about last year, Cam Maldonado for the New Britain Bees having a show, and they've got Paris picked off. 1-3-6 goes the out. He went first move, and Troy Donahue read it, so that retires the side. Suns run into an out and cannot score here in the third, and after 2.5, 4-2 lead the Suns on the FCBL Radio Network.